Good morning, and welcome to Glen High School Senior Convocation. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and welcome the class of 2022. Good morning. Please remain standing. Seniors, wow, you look great. Our largest class in Glen Allen history, 500 plus. Today is the day when the entire learning community gathers to honor you, even virtually. You have worked hard for 12 years to obtain your senior status, and at the end of this school year, your 13th year in education, you will wear these gowns again and march at your graduation ceremony. We want every single one of you to be in your gowns at graduation, and we want the underclassmen to follow in your footsteps. During your last year at Glen Allen High School, strive to get your best grades ever, make your plans for the future, and always remember that you are the leaders of the school. I know the past 18 to 19 months have been challenging with different formats of learning and then readjusting to a somewhat normal in-person format. But remember, you're up for the challenge as you can see the light at the end of your journey. I want you to enjoy every moment of your senior year, and I'm proud to be your principal. And most of all, I'm proud of you. So let's get it done. At this time, I would like to introduce the class of 22's president, Miss Claire DeBusk. I'm sorry.
Good morning. At this time, please remain standing while we recite the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the singing of the national anthem performed by the Glen Allen High School Rosettes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. I now welcome our senior class vice president, Mr. Sean McDevitt.
This morning, we have gathered to recognize my class, the class of 2022 and this year's Senior Convocation. The Senior Convocation is our first official assembly of the year, and it's designed to prepare us for the busy year ahead. Though our convocation looks a little different than the years past, we are excited to be here and recognize the growth that has occurred in each of us throughout our educational journeys. Now that we are seniors and leaders here at Glen Allen, it is our responsibility to make the most of this year, to lead by example, and to prepare ourselves for the brightest and best futures possible. There is no doubt that this year will bring its own challenges. We'll be faced with serious decisions that will determine our futures. However, with the support of parents, teachers, family, and friends, I believe that we, the class of 2022, will rise to the challenge, put our best efforts forward, and move into the future with grace and confidence. I would like to welcome our parents and supporters who are here with us via live stream. We also welcome the teachers and special guests that are here with us in person. Now, I would also like to welcome those who joined me on the platform this morning. Please stand and remain standing when your name is announced. Mr. Anthony Antoine, our keynote speaker and NBC 12 news anchor. Ms. Christy Kinsella, Brooklyn representative, Henrico County School Board. Mr. Reginald Davenport, our principal. Ms. Leah Wiedenhoff, assistant principal and 12th grade administrator. Ms. Carrie Kirshner, senior class sponsor. Ms. Ellie Paris, senior class sponsor. Ms. Claire DeBasque, our senior class president. Ms. Erin Hearn, our senior class secretary. Ms. Caitlin Bucci, our senior class historian, and I, Sean McDevitt, our senior class vice president. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I would like to ask Ms. Christy Kinsella, our Brooklyn representative to the Henrico County School Board, to come forward and bring greetings to the school.
Good morning. On behalf of your Henrico County School Board, it's an honor for me to be here to wish you well. Seniors, congratulations on getting to this moment. As you move forward this year, I encourage you to keep in mind how you got here, to believe in yourself, and to always ask questions. Continue to rely on the relationships, knowing that your support system of family, faculty, and friends are here to make this year everything you dreamed it could be and more. And don't forget, you've got this. It's your final year in Henrico schools, and it's filled with endless possibilities. And lastly, take the opportunity to learn from those around you and to use your voice. Ask questions when you don't know something, and please ask for help if you need it. You and what you have to say matter. My granny used to say, the older you get, the faster time flies. Know that this year, time will go by, so use it wisely. I look forward to celebrating with you in June. Congratulations to you, Glen Allen High School, class of 2022.
Thank you, Mrs. Kinsella. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Anthony Antoine. Anthony Antoine is a 3-time Emmy Award-winning morning anchor at NBC 12 in Richmond. Prior to that, he spent 6 years at the CBS affiliate in Champaign, Illinois, where he started out as a part-time camera operator and worked his way up to the weekday morning anchor. Anthony was born in Trinidad and Tobago, and he migrated to the United States at the age of 10 with his family. New Jersey has been his home ever since. After graduating from St. Anthony High School, he went on to further his education at Bowling Green State University in Ohio. While in college, he interned at CBS in Los Angeles, California, working on shows like Entertainment Tonight, Wheel of Fortune, and Jeopardy! He says it was the experience of a lifetime. He's a proud member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, and in 2009, he graduated with a degree in telecommunications with a minor in ethnic studies. We are beyond appreciative for Mr. Antoine joining us today. Please welcome him to the mic with a round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, come on. Good morning. There we go. You got to wake up for me. You got to wake up. I'm going to be honest here. First and foremost, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. Thank you so much. The national anthem, the group that sang that, it was absolutely beautiful. And to all the students out here today, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I got the feels a little bit, like watching you guys come down the aisle. I think I underestimated what this moment really means, and I think I want you guys to take a minute to take it in as well, because we have been in the midst of a pandemic for so long. I'm personally fed up with it. Are you fed up? Come on, that deserves a round of applause. But in all honesty, you guys have persevered, and the pandemic comes around, you're a sophomore, and then your junior year primarily is spent virtual learning and making adjustments, and that can be a lot to take in. But here you are as seniors, ready to take this year by storm, and I'm excited to see what you guys can do. So good morning to all of you, and congratulations. To the teachers and staff members here today, or maybe watching in the classroom or somewhere else, I want to say congratulations to you as well, but I also want to thank our teachers and staff members for just really being a consistent hand, someone that is steady in the midst of the pandemic and virtual learning and adjusting and doing what they need to make it happen. And to our parents parents and guardians who unfortunately aren't able to be here today, they are at home or in their cubicle at work or parked in the grocery store parking lot watching on their cell phones, the iPad, whatever it is. They're supporting you guys, and I know they are so very proud of you. So if you don't mind, let's give a round of applause for yourselves, our teachers and staff members, and the parents at home. All right, I promise I won't take too long, because I know you guys don't want to hear what I have to say. So I'll give you 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes, okay? Can we do that? All right, let's go. So when Leah asked me to be today's speaker, I was genuinely surprised and humbled by all of it. But I was like, oh man, I wasn't sure if I could be here today. I had a couple things floating, but for me, anytime I take a speaking engagement, I make sure that I first internalize what is being asked of me and then figure out whether or not I have any value to bring to the conversation. And I said, you know what, after some thinking, I moved some things around, and I said, let's go for it. So we're going to be here today just kind of walking you through some of the themes and some of the things I've picked up along the way that I think will benefit you guys as you head into the school year. I tend to live by the saying, or my own personal thing that I've made up, is that when you are sitting anywhere or listening to a podcast or whatever it is, when you give something your attention, who delivers that message and what that message entails, in my opinion, can sometimes, or most oftentimes, change opinions. So I wanted to make sure that whatever I said to you guys here today would, hopefully, if I'm lucky, you guys will be able to take one piece of information that will not only stick with you for the next 15 minutes, but hopefully, if I'm lucky, the rest of the school year, maybe you remember one thing that I said here today that makes you adjust your thinking or just make better decisions. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. Are you guys familiar with that quote? All right, that is the quote for the year by Mr. Robbins. Again, it is the only impossible journey is the one you never begin. Now, admittedly, I've heard of Tony Robbins before, but I wasn't too familiar with him. But this quote resonated with me regardless, and then it set me on this discovery of who he is and what he stands for and the books he's written. And this is an amazing quote to start the school year. I'm very impressed that this is where you guys wanted to set your hearts and your intentions as you work towards graduation day. So let's start with my story, right? You guys, does anybody here watch the news? Does anybody wake up early enough to watch? Probably not. I understand. I wasn't watching in high school either. But I'm going to tell you guys my story a little bit here. So I always wanted to be a reporter. There was nothing else you can probably tell me. Second was a teacher, but I wanted to be a reporter. I remember growing up, and my mom really believed that education can change our circumstance. And a big portion of that was watching the news and making sure that we were connected to what's happening in our community, but also what's happening around the world. My mom was a single parent. I grew up in the inner city, and I was considered one of those at-risk teens and youth. And my mom worked 2 to 3 jobs, 7 days a week. She did everything and anything possible. And because she was working, I had to step up at a very young age and maybe not do certain sporting events because I have a little brother and I gotta help him with his homework, or I gotta make us a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to hold us over until she gets home to make dinner, whatever the case may be. So by most standards, I had some unique obstacles. We all have unique obstacles, but you guys are all capable of overcoming. I was then lucky enough to get a scholarship to attend a small Catholic high school, St. Anthony High School. They built it for me. So, come on, tough crowd. That's some of my best material. Come on. No, but I was lucky enough to get a scholarship to go to St. Anthony High School, and that really changed the trajectory of my life, I firmly believe. But I wanted to be a reporter, but at my local high school, it was small. My graduating class was 75 kids. You know, there was no local newspaper in my high school. There was no TV station. We barely had books. Like, it was just a tough situation, but I was lucky nonetheless. I got involved in everything in high school. Even though it didn't have what I wanted per se, I just got involved because I believed that if I just tried different things, all those things I've learned in different fields at some point will come together and work towards the greater good of what I'm trying to do with my life. So I got really good at public speaking. That was one of the things that I was scared of in high school, but then I started joining different groups. I got a little bit more comfortable with people. Next thing you know, I'm giving a speech in class, and here I am today. So it all worked together. I then went to Bowling Green State University in Ohio. Leah, that's where we graduated. Woo-woo. All right, so I went to Ohio, and I felt like I was a little behind, right? I felt like I was behind in my journalism classes. A lot of the kids in my classes came from schools where they were already writing articles and they knew how to shoot video. And I felt like I was really behind the 8 ball. But what I did not have an experience in college, I did not lack in hustle. If it's one thing, no one is going to out-hustle me when it's something that I want. And you all need to have that same approach. Whatever the circumstance, whatever it is that you want, do not let the next person out-hustle you, because that genuinely makes the difference in everything. Most of the jobs I've gotten is not because I applied and just let the decision maker call me. It's because I applied and I followed up and I called and I sent emails, and I might show up at the front lobby as well. You do what it takes to make it happen. So when I got to campus, I joined BG24 News. It was the local TV station on campus. All the students were involved. We wrote the scripts, we shot the video, we ran the cameras, we did everything. So I did that. Then one day I was walking in the hallways and I saw a flyer for an internship in California at CBS. At this point, I was like, man, I don't think I'm going to get it. But again, I looked at this internship, decided that's something that I wanted, and I went after it. Sad part is, thousands of dollars were associated with that. My mom could not afford that. There was no way my mom would be able to afford to send me to California and still pay the bills at home to make it happen. But that did not stop me. I applied for that internship. I got the internship. And then, after getting over that first hurdle of simply applying, then, next step, I got to figure out where the money is coming from. At this point, I didn't even tell my mom. I just told her I got it. She thought it was free for a long time. You know, I just said, I got it. I'm going to California. And then I'm like, she's like, how are you going to pay for it? I'm like, we'll figure it out. So I went to my advisor, and God bless that woman. She somehow moved some of my financial aid from the upcoming fall semester to cover some of my summer responsibilities in California. And then she made me apply for another scholarship, and I got some scholarship money. And then luckily we learned when we signed up for the internship, it wasn't paid. But then after we got it, they decided to throw us a couple dollars because living in California is not cheap. So it was just enough, right? It was just enough for all those things to come together for me to get to California. So I'm in California, living my dreams, the best thing I ever did. Throughout this school year, if you guys ever get an opportunity to go on a field trip, to go study abroad, or do anything like that, I highly encourage you to take those opportunities and run with them. The best thing you can do is really to get out of your neighborhood almost and get out of your comfort zone. The world is so much bigger than that 3 to 5 block radius where you know the streets and you walk there every day and you know where you're going to go shopping. The world is so much bigger. So if you get opportunities like that to really change your surrounding, it's so valuable. You immerse yourself in a different community, in a different place, and you learn so much from people who some may share the same ideals and values as you, and others who may share something different, but there's still value in what they have to say and their perspective, and it ultimately helps you grow as a person. So even in the school year, if you're in the lunchroom, if you're walking down the halls and you see someone you may not talk to all the time, but you see maybe they're wearing a t-shirt of a group or a band that you really enjoy, say something. Speak, you know? You might have something, that might be your best friend. You just never know. So I graduated college, and this was 2008, in the recession. It was impossible to find a job, so I could not find a job out of college. I randomly went to a career fair with a friend one day, and I ended up being approached by a company called Cintas. And the guy, he's like, "Oh, I think you can be a good sales rep." I'm like, "No, I don't want to do sales." So I walked away. That guy called me for about 2 weeks. And finally, he wore me down, and I went for the interview to be a sales rep. I got the job. I was a sales rep for about 3 or 4 years, but I knew my passion was really in journalism. So again, we're still in Ohio. I was selling uniforms for Cintas, and then for about 3 or 4 years go by, and then my girlfriend at the time, my wife now, so it all worked out, she got a job at the University of Illinois. So I decided to follow. I get to Champaign, Illinois, and I knew I needed to get back into journalism. So I took a full-time job as a sales rep for another company. And then I took a part-time job at the local CBS station. So my day at that time, I woke up in the morning, and my job was 45 minutes away in Bloomington, Illinois. So I would wake up in the morning around 5 o'clock. I'll get dressed, hit the road, get to my office around 6:37, because I wanted that extra hour from 7 to 8 to just get prepared for the day. And then I would leave the office at 4 o'clock and then drive back. Sorry. That wasn't smooth at all. So I would get to the office in the morning, put in my work day, and then drive back to Champaign, Illinois, where I was the camera operator for the local news station, and I would be behind the scenes moving the cameras for the 4, 5, 6 o'clock news, and then go home, take a quick break, and go right back to work for the 10 o'clock news that night. And then wake up the next morning, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and do the same thing over again. On weekends, I would go into the station, and then I would follow the reporter who was working that weekend. And then I would take the interviews they did, I took the video they had, and I wrote my version of that reporter's story. And I would send the news director my story for weeks on end. Eventually, it got to the point where I knew how to do everything in that building. There was nothing that could be asked of me that I already didn't know how to do. I positioned myself as the obvious choice, so when a reporter left the station and went somewhere else, I was the go-to guy. So I got hired on as a full-time reporter, working weekends. From the weekend reporter, I got moved. I proved myself, and then I was promoted to the weekday reporter. Then I was lead night side reporter, and then I went back to anchoring for the first time. So I was weekend anchor. And then I got promoted again to the main morning anchor at the CBS station. And then now, because of that, here I am in Richmond. I've been here about 3.5 years now. Love it. Love working with my station. I love the team that I work with in the morning. I'm blessed, so blessed in that sense. Yeah! NBC 12, there you go. I love you guys for those of you who do wake up early and watch. Thank you. So I say all that, and I tell you guys my story because I'm going to dive in now to some themes that I think can really help you guys this school year. So first up, I want to say, control the controllables, right? Control the controllables. How you prepare for an exam, you can control that. How you treat your peers, you can control that. In my story, what I could control at the time was whether or not I decided to apply for that internship. What I could not control is whether or not I got the internship. Same thing here with you guys. What you can control is how you carry yourself every day and the work you put in each and every day. What you can't control, there are things you guys can't control, but that's also okay. You know, what someone else, this is high school, so I know what someone else may think of you is none of your business. I tell myself that to this day as a grown man. Sometimes I get emails from the viewers like, oh, I hate you. Can't do nothing about that. You know what I mean? I try to do the best that I can. Not everyone's going to like you, right? But I want you guys to always control the controllables. Once you can grasp that, that can really make a difference for you. 2, you cannot be interested in bettering yourself and your circumstance if you are not willing to make the investment in yourself. Again, you cannot be interested and not make the investment in yourself. So if you are interested in making the soccer team, if you're interested in making the debate team, if you're interested in making the marching band, you cannot have those things a part of your heart and who you are if you're not willing to invest the time that it takes for you to see the fruits of your labor by the work that you put in each and every day. So, again, my story. I was interested in being a reporter. I was invested in making that happen by working 7 days a week, taking a part-time, working 2 jobs, 7 days a week for about 9 months before what I wanted out of it came to fruition. A lot of times what you see here or what thoughts you have in your mind, you have to really manifest that thing and you have to work towards it and it's going to come to fruition. You just have to have the dedication to make it happen. The next one I always say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. This is the beginning of your senior year. I hope that everything is going well and you guys are having fun and you're having good grades, you're getting good grades in your classes. And I hope it stays that way. If that's not the case and you're struggling in certain classes, that is not an indictment on whether or not you can be successful for the rest of the school year. So you can have a bad start, but you can always overcome and you can always finish strong. A sporting reference, everyone loves when a team is down, or it's like, oh, it's entertaining. Everyone loves a comeback story. Be the author of your own story. You guys have that power within you. I can tell from the staff that you guys have the teachers and staff members around you to help you make that happen. And there are parents and guardians at home watching this live stream right now, even though their boss is paying them. I'm sure some of them are at work. But they're still doing this because they are invested in each and every one of you. Then I had to learn this lesson the hard way. I believe that happiness is a fleeting human emotion that a lot of times is based on external factors. Meaning, for me, I got the internship. I was happy. If I didn't get the internship, I probably would have been really sad about that, right? At your age, you win the football game, you're happy. Your friends you and your friend made up, you're happy. But happiness, I think, can be dangerous at times in the sense that what I think you should be seeking instead is a sense of peace and contentment and radical love for yourself no matter what happens outside. So in the same sense that, again, the beginning of the school year, you guys are excited for the year, but there will be some bumps. There will be some bumps along the road this school year. Celebrate your wins, yes, but also make sure that you guys are steady. When the rough times come and you need to kind of go back into your bank of happiness, make sure that you are determining your own happiness, essentially. Don't let external things decide whether or not you're happy. You got to wake up every day and be happy with yourself, happy with the work you put in, and happy with whatever comes of it. Because again, this is your journey. No one can take anything from you. This is up to you to make it happen. Also, again, it's going to be tough this school year. Some things might not go your way, and it might not get the outcome you want. But this, again, is your journey. Adjust. Adjust. There is nothing wrong with adjusting. And the best part about your journey is that no one can open a door that is meant for you. You have the keys to all of it. What is meant for you is for you, in whatever way it comes about. You just have to trust. Just trust the process, essentially, and know that things will work out. I also want you guys this year to be mindful, not mindful. So mindful, M-I-N-D-F-U-L. It's like from mindfulness. Being mindful of the people that are sitting beside you, being mindful and courteous of the teachers and what individual circumstances or issues that we all may be dealing with. A lot of times, the person that you see smiling from ear to ear may have things going on at home or outside of school or in school that maybe it's hard for them to deal with. So the best thing you can do, and the best member of the Jaguar family that you want to be, is to be mindful of the things that they may be going through. What I don't want for you guys this year is to have your mind full of nonsense and things that mean nothing. Right? Mindfulness and being courteous to those around you, we want that. We don't want our mind full of things that don't matter. For example, social media. You guys all probably have an Instagram, all have a TikTok, all have a Snapchat. And that can really cloud sometimes your judgment or make you feel like you're not like stacking up in comparison to your peers. I have two nieces, one's 16, the other's 15, and I have a nephew that's 14. And I always tell them that I don't want social media and how many likes they get on Instagram or any social media platform to essentially be a deposit in their bank of self-esteem. So however many likes you get on a post is irrelevant. Don't let someone else like a picture and then that makes you feel good about yourself. You're enough as is. So when you guys think about this school year, put your energy and your efforts in your work, in what you study, and just keep working extremely hard. So in closing, because I told you 10 minutes, I'm close to that, I'm sure. I want you guys to be bold this school year. I want you to lean into the things that may interest you. Lean into the things that you're not sure if it interests you. So what? You get it, you join it, you don't like it, move on. You're young. But you can always say you had the experience. So be bold enough to challenge yourself, to try something different. If you enjoy it, man, that's a great feeling. If you hate it, man, that was terrible. But you did it. But you did it. I want you guys to give yourself radical love. In high school, I was this tall, got made fun of. You ever heard the Bibo Lottie got more head than he got body? You ever heard that? Okay, so I was this short, skinny kid with a big head, like full lips. I came from Trinidad, so my accent was thick. I never experienced a winter a day in my life. In Trinidad, it's hot year-round. You may get a rainy season, but that's it. So I came to America, and my whole world is upside down. And I didn't love myself enough at that time to determine how I feel about myself. I allowed other people to determine my worth. So for you guys, I know things can be, social media is a thing, and you guys are in high school. Love yourself radically. No one has to tell you that you're doing a good job. Just know you did a good job. No one has to tell you that you're awesome. If they do, fine, it's great. But again, let that happiness and that contentment and that peace come from within. You guys determine your own happiness. I want you guys to be open to the lived experiences of your classmates. Again, there are people that sit here in this room that may not have the same upbringing like you, but there's so much beauty in that because you're able to experience people in different ways. So again, if you see someone in the hallway, it may not look like you, may not talk like you, may have nothing in common, but it doesn't mean you can't say good morning. Doesn't mean you can't say, hey, I like your t-shirt. Doesn't mean you can't say, hey, I see we have science class together. Do you want to study? Embrace your peers. It's such a beautiful thing. And lastly, I want to say when you're nervous or when you're fearful of change in any capacity, do it anyway. Do it anyway. Fear, a lot of the times, is like made up. Like you make it up yourself. Like you just say, oh, I'm scared to do that. But sometimes you surprise yourself. Because on the other side of fear is usually an experience that was going to stick with you for the rest of your life. And that again is a beautiful thing. So, I'm going to close with where we started, which was our quote for this year. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. I would like to believe that nothing is impossible. You guys have started that journey. You are on your way. You're in the beginning stages of your senior year. And I got faith in what I see out here today, that you guys are going to go out this school year and be great examples to the rest of the student body, show each and every teacher that you guys are awesome kids, and hopefully you guys have me back here on graduation day. I would enjoy that. So I told you 10 minutes. I'm going to shut up now, but congratulations.
Mr. Antoine, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak to our class. Your words of wisdom will be long remembered by the class of 2022. Here is a small token of our appreciation to you. Yes, of course. Thank you. I appreciate that. The Glen Allen High School Rosettes will now perform their rendition of The Climb. Please enjoy the selection.
See it.
Thank you, Rosettes. At this time, I would like to invite my fellow officers to join me at the podium to deliver the charge to the senior class.
Hello, friends. Welcome, Jaguars and Jaguar families. Every year, as we get it back into school, we do icebreakers at some point or another. We talk about our favorite books or movies or colors, how many siblings we have, or what sports we play. We're asked over and over to answer a very simple question. Who are you? It's a question that we so often ask, but that we rarely think about beyond a quick, easy, concise answer. High school is a time of self-discovery and finding our own paths. And because of this, in many ways, it may be easier to find the ways in which we are different. Whether that be ethnicity, race, sexuality, personal beliefs and philosophies, or socioeconomic status. Our diversity doesn't end there. Within the class of 2022, we have athletes, musicians, artists, leaders, innovators, workers, and activists. Those differences are part of the reason that we're so special. But when asked who the class of 2022 is as a whole, we can't use those things to describe us. And I kind of like that because it makes us focus on the things that we share. We've shared highs, whether it be our place in BOTC freshman year, a victory under field lights on a Friday night, or a test that a teacher pushed back a few days when none of us knew what we were doing. We've shared lows, losing so much time together, facing isolation, and struggling through not only typical high school stress, but stress from the pandemic. Now we're sharing this opportunity to come together to rebuild. We choose to be here today in these seats, looking forward towards our diploma. We choose to follow guidelines to keep the people around us safe as we attempt to return to normalcy. We choose to pursue relationships with our peers. We choose to show up to events and have the best student section of anyone in the county. We choose to instill those same values, that same spirit in the underclassmen who are looking to us to figure out who they're going to become as a class. Those experiences, those choices are the ones that define us. Our resilience, our flexibility, our compassion, and the undying spirit that we share are what make the class of 2022 who we are. As we go into this year, I want you all to remember that you're part of something bigger. Someday, not so far from now, we're all going to be Glen Allen alumni. And our answers to those icebreaker questions, our favorite books or movies or colors, what sports we play will likely change. But where we've come from won't. So, class of 2022, let's continue to define who we are for the better.
Good morning, students, faculty, family, and friends. Class of 2022, we're almost there. We are so close to hearing those words, congratulations, you made it. Today, I have the honor of speaking to you about what is truly important to the class of 2022 and how we'll leave a mark on Glen Allen High School. As I was writing my speech, I sat at my computer and asked myself multiple times, what is important to the class of 2022? I came up with a few answers. I thought, homecoming, graduation, college applications, and who's going to win the next football game. But I wanted to think deeper than that. Then I thought, connections. Throughout our time in high school, we've witnessed unimaginable events, including a major social justice movement and a global pandemic. I still find it crazy that we only had one normal year as freshmen, and now we're seniors. Within that time frame, the importance of people needing people has come to the surface. We had moments where we were isolated from people, including family and friends, but this has taught us the importance of our connections. It's also helpful to look within and understand what makes us unique, but also to understand the value of our differences. Glen Allen is such a special community filled with people from all different backgrounds and beliefs, but we still find a way to uplift each other every single day. As we near the end of one of our high school journeys, connections become more important than ever. Connections are the way of unifying our divided country. They are the way to embrace different thoughts and ideas from multiple points of view. Today I challenge each and every one of you to reach out to someone and share something new that makes you different. Also, take the time to listen to them and hear what makes them unique. Then take this idea and take it home and share what you've learned with your parents and a family member, and keep that cycle going. This is our year, and we should take advantage of all opportunities to create new connections and strengthen old ones. With this in mind, let's continue to be one team, one heartbeat, and one family. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. 4 years ago, I remember laughing at the idea that school would be over before I even knew it. In fact, I remember thinking, how could 4 years of studying and attending classes possibly go by quickly? But yet here I am today, wondering where all that time went. It seems like just yesterday we walked these halls amazed by all the freedoms and opportunities this school had to offer. Since then, our class has grown up together under the most unprecedented circumstances. We survived a pandemic, and we adapted in ways we could have never imagined. We did the impossible. We made it to the final leg of our high school careers, and for that, I commend each and every one of you. But despite all the hard work and determination it took to get here, we are not done. After the last 2 years, we have the unique opportunity of not just being Glen Allen's senior class, but orchestrators of Glen Allen's future. With us being the only class to really experience what it means to be a student here at Glen Allen, it is up to us to preserve and uphold the values of what it means to be a Jaguar for future classes. As Maya Angelou once said, if you're going to live, leave a legacy. Make a mark on the world that can't be erased. We only have a few more months here at Glen Allen, so we have to make the most of them. As we have learned the hard way, time is never on our side, so we must take advantage of every second we have left to continue to forge path for ourselves and the classes to come. Only then can we leave these halls knowing that we left the school better than we found it, and that we are ready to continue to pursue our futures.
Good morning, Jaguar students and families who are watching from home. I am so excited to be here with our entire class for the first time as seniors. I am beyond proud to see each of you sitting before me today, as we've experienced so many highs and lows over the past 4 years. In this moment, I want you to think back to the person you were on the first day of freshman year. Many of us probably cringe at the thought of our fall 2018 selves and see them as completely different people than we are now. Something so unique about high school is that we get to see ourselves and each other morph from the person we were when we walked into Glen Allen on that first day to the person who walks across the stage at graduation. It's no secret, like Caitlin said, that these 4 years are a journey full of self-discovery, allowing us to continually evolve, even into our senior year. As we look back on high school, we probably think about why we are individually important. But why are we important as a class, and why is this year in particular so special? We started out with a bang our freshman year. Maybe I'm biased, but I think we were one of the most spirited freshman classes that Glen Allen has ever seen. From our second place BOTC win as famous freshmen to what definitely would have been our first place win as Surfside sophomores, we have come together many times to achieve a common goal. As the small fish in the big Glen Allen pond, we displayed what I would consider to be our defining characteristic as a class: resilience. This trait has certainly served us well since then, especially when Henrico County announced a 2-week break in March of 2020. We likely never imagined that it would turn into a year and a half of separation from our school and from one another. However, we've demonstrated our resilience in getting back into the swing of things this year for the celebration of all of our lasts. Our last football season, last homecoming dance, and fingers crossed, prom. Our time in high school has allowed us to grow into the person we are now, and today marks the beginning of the end of our journey. As we continue to evolve over the course of the year, we will continue to show Glen Allen what makes the class of 2022 so important: our ability to show up even when the times are tough. Though I can only see your eyes above your masks today, I can also see the bright year and the success that lies ahead each of us. I know that our collective resilience will serve all of us as this journey continues. Thank you. At this time, I will turn the program over to Mrs. Wiedenhoft.
Good morning. To my right is your class of 2022 senior banner. Following our GAHS tradition, the banner highlighting your class quote from Mr. Anthony Robbins The Only Impossible Journey is the One You Never Begin, will be on display for all of our GAHS community to see as it hangs in the hallway entrance over Commons A. I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can actually see y'all. And I wanna just say, I'm gonna go off script for just a second. We're gonna take a minute, and I just want you all to celebrate one another. So I want you to hoop, and I want you to holler, and I want you to be proud of the fact that we are here. Make your families proud, so go ahead and just hoop it up for me. Woo! That's right. That's right. So we are nearing the end of our program, and I want y'all to look around. This is us. This is the class of 2022. In this room, we have future doctors, scientists, teachers, writers, performers, activists, engineers, and the list goes on and on. When I look at each of you, I am inspired, and I have hope. I know you all are game changers because I have been in your classrooms. I have heard you advocate for yourselves and for others. I have seen you overcome obstacles just to become better and stronger. I have watched you seek out ways to make our community a better place. And I have witnessed all of you show empathy and kindness to one another. I know that we are in good hands because you all are rising into adulthood and you are ready for the work that must be done in order to make our world a better place. So today, we have done a lot of talking about your futures. And for a moment, I want to talk about the right here, right now. We, the GAHS community, need for you to be the leaders of our building. You've got a few more months to show the underclassmen what the GA way is all about. Show them that coming to school is important. Show them that putting effort into your learning and your classroom experiences is valuable. Model for them that getting involved in extracurricular activities is fun and worthwhile. Teach them all the chants and all the traditions. I can't get teal out of my head, okay, y'all? So teach them all of those things so that they know what Jaguar Pride is all about. And now, I know that's a lot of pressure. We've talked about all this pressure that you all are carrying as seniors. So let's talk about the fun stuff for just a second. Because of the nature of this year, some of your senior privileges have been bestowed upon you a little bit earlier than normal. But let us review them. So seniors, you'll have your early release at 3:45, and you will be granted access to our senior courtyard during your lunches. You will be permitted to wear your school-appropriate costumes on the Friday prior to Halloween. And we will recognize our seniors with several themed spirit days throughout the year. On top of what I have listed, we look forward to providing you all with other privileges as our year progresses. And let's not forget that one of the most important privileges is that you all get one today, your early release, to celebrate your convocation and enjoy your time with your family after our event today. At this point, I would like to welcome Mr. Davenport back to the microphone to make one last big announcement for you all.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Wiedenhoff. I have my cell phone. I have a program on my cell phone that's a countdown to graduation. All right, I haven't put it in yet because your graduation date is June 14th at 7 p.m. All right? So let's get excited for graduation. So whenever you see me in the hallway, Mr. Davenport, how many more days and seconds do we have? I have it on my cell phone. All right? Congratulations, class of 2022.
Save those dates, y'all. Families, you on the live stream, y'all too. We need everybody there. All right, so as we conclude, I would like to thank Ms. Kirchner and Ms. Paris for assisting with today's event and working with our class officers. Could not have done it without their continued support. And to Mr. Davenport, Mrs. Kinsella, and Mr. Antoine, thank you so much for sharing your time and wisdom with us today. To the Fine Arts Department, Mr. Adair for the recording of our orchestra and for assisting with sound. To Coach Jay for all of our audio work. And I think Ms. Mugford's up there too. And then to Miss Matthews and to the Rosettes, we just cannot say thank you enough. Also to our junior class sponsors and to all of the GAHS staff members who assisted with making today possible, we appreciate you. To our teachers, our maintenance and custodial staff, our secretaries, and anybody who calls GAHS their place of work, you are the best. And so at this point, that concludes our ceremony. I would ask for our junior class marshals to come forward so that we can begin our recessional. Clap it up one more time, y'all.
Hey, Danny, good job. Yeah. Get through this year. Hey, man. Oh, yeah. There he is. No way. What? Where y'all going? Tell her I said hello. You look great, Vito.
I went over the bubble. I did that.